been substituting for you.
He does it.
Excellent job.
He's done an admirable job. He's not quite as good as you are, Brenda. We know you've improved if you kept doing it.
Yeah, he's getting practice.
Okay, any questions on finance? Anything on? Okay, then I'll call for a motion. All in favor of the finance item, please? And all this, anybody opposed? No. Okay, all yes. Then personnel section. Have a motion?
Second.
Curry, Wilson. Ms. Williams.
Okay, as you see, it's a very short personnel schedule. Section A, resignations and retirements, and it is noted underneath the effective date whether it was resignation or a retirement. For all resignations. Any questions?
Is my question not pertaining to this necessarily to personnel in general, or we have a posting out now?
It just came down Friday. We extended it one day because of the power outage at central office.
As far as, like on the 30th, how do you feel we'll be at that time? We have most of our positions filled, I mean, I know, you feel pretty comfortable.
If we got applicants for them. There will be some that we haven't because I've looked, there's some, and then we'll repost those.
Are those typically hard to get areas or something? A specialized area?
Sometimes. I'm trying to think of the ones that we did get, yes, such as, if it requires a reading endorsement or authorization or something, that's usually very hard to get.
Reason you might not have applicants?
Yes, at this time of the year, for you, for that.
Do I have any other questions on personnel? Okay, we'll call for question for personnel. All in favor? Anybody opposed? Being all in, awesome. Okay, we'll get down to comments and concerns. Career-driven education in rural America.
Oh, that's
Mr.
I'm on.
Explain this.
And I'll preface my comments by saying I'm no expert when it comes to this particular grant activity. We've been lucky to have Lisa Tu and Dee Cockrell and her staff involved in this proposal. In the past, this is actually marks our second attempt to receive funding through this Race to the Top grant. There's $400 million that the Obama administration has made available across the country to school districts. The state of West Virginia, Arkansas, the state of Washington, and New Mexico, I believe was the other state, are all in a running in a competitive grant proposal for approximately $28 million. I think West Virginia's cut of that share within $4 million. It's all tied to the waiver request that the state submitted to the feds. This past year was approved to get out from underneath the guidelines of No Child Left Behind. So it had to have, it's got to include a component there, the teacher evaluation, principal evaluation being tied to student achievement. We also have a connection there to the college and career ready standards, which our state adopted a Common Core, which we call the Next Generation Standards. And also the fact that there had to be a growth model, a data collection piece tied to this also in terms of being able to determine a school's distinction, as Mr. Linville shared with you at the last board meeting, the designations that go along with the different areas. So Dee submitted this grant last year on behalf of Cabell, Lincoln, Mason, Mingo, and Wayne counties. And we only missed out by 2 points. There were 61 school districts across those 4 states I mentioned submitted, and we were 2 points away from being funded. So this is going to be a resubmission for that very same grant. Of course, she's going to make some revisions to it. She's been working with me. Mr. Ringle's been helping me as well to gather data for Dee and her staff to be able to include in the proposal. But if we're successful, if we get this grant, we're going to see a focus on the math classroom in terms of research-based type activities, project-based activities tied to career technical education, as well as teachers will be provided with an array of professional development opportunities. It's going to include a career coach who would be hired and would work with our students to guide them and steer them in the direction in the area which that they want to pursue at high school. So this would be a wonderful opportunity if we receive the funds. But we won't know anything, I think, until sometime in December, whether or not our grant submission was successful. Mrs. Lucas, I think anything else?
No, just the fact that they need to be able to get a signature from Mrs. Priestley in support of, or an agreement to.
So there's a memorandum of understanding that must be signed off and agreed to, so that if we do receive the funding, it will adhere to guidelines pertaining to the grant proposal, the activities that go along with it. I've always heard that whoever's paying is saving, so that's where we are with it. So we'll make sure that we're following whatever rules they have established.
You have to be careful when you use that little language.
That's right.
You want to go home and say that. Now this, do we know at this point what Lincoln County's share would be?
We only know that the state would approximately receive $4 million. Now, how that would be broken down, we don't know.
No, but it would only be, it's only Risa too that's submitting this. No,
So, right.
No other
No other.
reasons.
And there's 16 schools in our research that would benefit, that would participate. It's our 4 middle schools as well as Lincoln County High School as part of the 16.
Oh, okay.
So we have 5 schools that would.
So there are only 16 schools that were benefited by this, right? No other questions? Mr. Murray? Back to Bert. Mr. Wilker, McAllister, any questions?
On page 3, where it says physical year 13, 12, 11, is that comparing to this time each year?
July last year.
Okay.
Each of those years.
Okay. Any other comments or concerns?
Well, I did want to know, I know at the School Board Association, the meeting we were at in Flatwoods, you all received a copy of this invitation. I wanted to know if any of you all were planning on attending.
Is there going to be something where they, like the School Board Association, they will contact us or send something? Do you think we'll get anything further that they,
I thought you all received it, did you not?
Not in-
In your packet?
It was in,
Yeah.
what's the date on it?
November the 5th.
I think I was busy.
I didn't know whether that was the actual invitation or just kind of an informative thing.
That was the actual.
November the 5th.
It's going to be in Charleston at the Civic Center. It's an education summit.
And that's just one day.
Yes, from 9 till 3.
We have a board meeting that day.
On November the 5th. Well, I guess
You can just-
everybody just has to look at it. This is Powell, that our principal. All right, Ms. Ann.
Just want you all to think about a date that we can set for a work session. Will not be for finance, I think we'll do that, that will be later. But for, the new policy, 5,000, the education reform, and, what else was it? We wanted to be able to have. Oh, yes, continuing. Mr. Linville has some new information, or will be able to, share some more information.
He's got a lot of
West Test.
information.
He does.
Full of.
Uh,
I was thinking that would be too nice to say.
But sometime real soon.
Okay, my next
You were
question.
Yes, because we want to be able to give you all as much information as we can, about the new, West Test and all of the designations that the schools have been given, as well as, new policy 5,000, because it's soon going to be personnel season, and many, of the rules have changed. And they end up with lots of questions, and I think you all would benefit from.
See, this week or?
And I want to say the next couple of weeks, probably,
Could you all propose to us
some dates.
2 or 3 days?
I don't have my calendar.
That's what I mean.
Will we mail it?
If you just give us some possible dates, and we can get back to the okay with you?
I could just return this Friday or next Friday.
Mr. Council, you're available through the day occasionally.
On the 20th or 27th, like this Friday or the following Friday.
We're going to go to watch the Panthers. All right, Mr. Snyder.
Yes.
But if you all just give us some options there, then we'll get back to you. I'm sure we can come up with that. We're not confined to Tuesdays, just any day of the week, right?
Right, yes. So we'll look at our calendar and send you all a few days and let you all choose them. But we do want it real soon. And an announcement, Mrs. Snapper from Ranger, extended an invitation for tomorrow to all of you all. She's going to have a celebration at her school because her school was designated as a school success. And so she's, having a celebration with her faculty and students, and she has extended an invitation
When did you say?
tomorrow at
No, Saturday.
No, tomorrow.
Why, we got an email.
Well,
I think.
2.
12, yeah.
Well, 2 tomorrow.
They have inflatables too, Fred. We did have an auction today, various school and some various other things. I'm sure we'll hear more about that. Chance to go over all that. It seemed to have gone pretty good. Okay, any board members have any comments or concerns? Bring out the seat. Okay, if not, we'll adjourn until September 30th at 6 o'clock at the county office. Have a motion?
Second.
Mr. McAllister made the motion, Mr. Wilson second, and all yes vote? Yes.